Hey, take two, to my knowledge. Hopefully. So, I said this in the original video, but your boy screwed up hardcore. So, I tweeted this out and everything, but I think it's time to introduce y'all to the PML Season 2. So, if you guys don't know, I'm part of a league. I created the league. As far as I can tell, no one used the name PML. Probably the abbreviation PML, but not the name Pokemon Masters League. So, yeah. So, I can tell you probably wondering, what is the Pokemon Masters League? Well, if you never heard of the league formats, then you probably are kind of confused. Two of the most popular leagues are the UCL and the GBA leagues. Anyways, leagues are when a group of Pokemon trainers, a group of masters, should I say, or unless you're part of the UCL group of champions, whatever. But they come together and they start a league, and depending on how much you have, is depending on how long the league stands for. So, for example, the PML Season 2 has 12 coaches, 11 weeks. Each coach faces off each other once before playoffs, and then from there they go on to playoffs. So top 16 goes on to playoffs. That's why I was going with that thought, but I didn't know how to reverse it. Anyways, so your boy here is a proud coach of the Toronto Typhlosions, which should appear in this side of the screen. Alright, so this video was supposed to go up Tuesday, but it wasn't done by Tuesday. What wasn't done by Tuesday? Draft. We had a pretty good momentum going on for the draft, and all of a sudden it stopped on Tuesday. I was like, okay, one day missed. Doesn't matter. We'll definitely finish on Wednesday. Lo and behold, we had good momentum on Wednesday, and then stopped on Wednesday. But today we finished on Thursday. 2 days later, I made a gamble and I lost the gamble. That's, oh well. But, guys, ready to know the team that your boy has drafted? Alright, peep it. So the team is super lit that I have to put on these sunglasses on. You can kind of see the reflection of the recording. Hey. Anyways, back to all seriousness. You can kind of see the reflection, which I'll take off for the video. But every single Pokemon is divided into 5 tiers. So tier 1 is the best you can draft. Tier 2 is the second best you can draft. Tier 3 is in the middle, like eh. Tier 4 kind of sucks. Tier 5 not the best. So here's how it went. Each coach was allowed 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 2 tier 3s, 1 tier 4, and 1 tier 5. As we progress through the videos, there's more stuff added on, but I'll just explain when it is necessary. Alright, so the first mon I drafted was none other than this glorious protector of the genies, Landorus. By the way, if I have like clever, witty intros for each and every one of these Pokemon, but this is the second time doing them, and I kind of just get it over with. Anyways, so not much to say about Landorus. It gets Intimidate. It's hyper offensive. It's a great mon in general. This is kind of the go-to pick for leagues. Landorus Therian is literally can do anything that you needed to do on the offensive side with a base 145 attack and a base 105 special attack. Nothing, well, some things, but most things are not living in attack by a Landorus. So I scooped him up, and let me tell you that his buddy old pal in tier 2 is waiting. He's anxious. I paired him up with, drumroll please, Volcanion. Alright, so, I never used Volcanion, I will admit, but I saw Volcanion and I'm like, you know what, Landorus kinda has an ice weakness. And I needed a fire type, and you know, my OCD is going down from tier 1 to tier 5, so that's kind of what I did in the sense of this league. So it's like, alright, I drafted a tier 1, what can I do in tier 2 to help me with my fire weakness? And lo and behold, Volcanion, the fire water type, comes up. So I was like, yo. So, unbeknownst to me though, Volcanion is also hyper specially offensive, which is kinda insane. If you guys don't believe me, check it out, or just listen. Base 130 special attack. Whoa. And it also is super duper duper bulky. It can take physical hits with a base 120 defense. I am super happy that I drafted him when I did. Like, literally nothing can go wrong with this Volcanion besides its weakness, but even its weakness can be covered by Lando, and Lando's weaknesses can be covered by Volcanion. You wanna bet? Alright. Ice is what kills Landorus. Volcanion is part fire type. It will destroy ice. Now ice is gone. Not that it would pose a threat. Grass types, both of them can destroy grass types on their own. What else? Ground types. Well, Landorus is part flying. It will just swoop down and defeat that. Lightning, electric types for Volcanion. Well, Landorus is part ground, and ground is immune to electric types. So it is literally the best pairing you can imagine, and even in the sense that Landorus is physically offensive, Volcanion especially offensive. Like, nothing can go wrong with these two in a pair. Absolutely nothing. I mean, unless one of them dies, but who's counting that? Am I right? Alright, so the tier 3 Mons, because remember, we're allowed 2 tier 3s. I chose the member of the Sword of Justice himself, Cobalion. Now, what's with Cobalion? Well, I kind of chose him because he was legend. Not gonna lie, he was legend, and he had typings that I didn't have before. Later on to the draft, I got that mentality of getting new typings and just threw it out the window. But that's for later. But yeah, it had typings I didn't have, and when I did research, it really helped because he's special. He is physically defensive and he is super fast. He's a speedy boyo. So that's basically all I drafted. Originally, I was supposed to pair him up with Blaziken and Chandelure and Chandelure. But as the draft came up, I kind of just threw that idea out the window as well. So it's just, what can I do now? So yeah, that was the first tier 3 draft that I did. I was a little bit worried that without Blaziken or Chandelure that Cobalion might have not been the best pick, but I did manage to use it in a mock battle with someone in the league, and it turns out it works perfectly on its own. So I was like, you know what? Never mind. Why was I worrying? You worrying? Nah, we all good. Look at that guy. He was worrying. Can you believe that he was worried? I don't know what's going on. Alright. Back to Tranquility. Our second, you see that second, third tier pick was none other than the 3rd gen pseudo legendary. But you're confused because 3rd gen has 2 Metagross. And this is where the idea of getting new typings kind of gets thrown out the window because Metagross is Steel as well. But it is also Psychic, which is something I didn't have at the time that I drafted it. And Metagross is part of a pair which I will reveal next. And in total, I think I only have 2 pairs, or maybe 3. I still haven't gone around to thinking one of those pairs. But anyways, Metagross I chose because it literally, as I know it, power, 135 attack, and 130 defense is literally insane in the membrane. So it will bring the Toronto Typhlosions to victory. So you might be wondering, wow, I hear the word defense coming a lot. And yes, I'm aware I'm kind of get bodied if I get attacked, specially attacked. But have no fear, everything's gonna be good in a moment. This is just a lot to process, man. So the 4th tier pick for the Toronto Typhlosions. Can you guess? What complements Metagross extremely well, you ask? Pangoro. That's right. The boy Pangoro has joined the squad. The panda, the angry panda himself, has come down from the heavens above and is now on the Toronto Typhlosions team. Yeah. So I mainly chose it because it's fighting dark. It complements Metagross's typing extremely well, so that's literally all I chose it. But doing some research again, the power of research, I found out that he is extremely offensive. Base 124 attack kinda threw me for a loop when I first saw it. Dude has some anger issues, and he knows how to put them anger issues into good use. Gosh, stickly, darn it. So kudos to Pangoro for doing the damn thing. It was between Pangoro or Palossand, and honestly, it was a very neck and neck. It was still a decision that I don't know if I made the right one, to be completely honest. But in the end of the day, I didn't choose Palossand because of the next Mon that I drafted. So my tier 5 pick was none other than Dusknoir. And I mainly drafted Dusknoir because he is specially defensive. This is the first specially defensive Mon that we have in our team. Let's get it. Everyone just clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. I'm not an idiot. Come on, clap it up. I knew I needed special defense. Come on now. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. But other than that, it's also extremely offensive, base 100 attack, but I won't use it for attack. It has both 135 defense and special defense, but you already know I'm using that as a special defense or defensive wall. So it is what it is. So with that out of the way, now it's time to get into the nitty gritty. So I'm putting the glasses again, because let me tell you, from here on out, the team only gets more lit. Alright, let's continue on with the next draft. Alright, as you can kind of see, my desk is a mess here, but just ignore it. Just deal with this portion for this bit of the video, because I'm telling you, it is too lit. As the kids say, lit, sorry. For not to go on. Bro, I have to stop. It's bugging me. It's bugging myself that I can see the whole thing through these glasses. It's just, gosh, tickly darn it. But the next the next thing of the draft is that each team is allowed to have one Mega. So of course, seeing my team as it is, I drafted Mega Altaria. So you might be wondering yourself, hey Red, why'd you draft Mega Altaria? Because I kind of didn't have an answer to Dragon type, and Mega Altaria is just a Fairy type and a Dragon type, so it can do double the damage to Dragon type. So I tip the hat to any Dragon type who wants to pull up into the squad and wants to mess up with the team, because Mega Altaria will be its hero. It's the hero that we need, or is it? It's the city that, sorry, it's the hero that we deserve. Batman. Anyways, upon further research ×2, like, I literally just chose Mons because of their typings. Research came afterwards, you know, I just kind of lucked out. But upon further research, I figured out that Mega Altaria special attack is through the roof. So we don't have any special attackers just yet. That's why I was kind of happy when I figured out that Mega Altaria's special attack is as high as it is. I need to stop moving frantically because, you know, camera needs to get into focus every time I do that. Just realize that, oh, mistakes were made. Okay, I'm just making sure not to move like crazy like I did last time. Anyways, yeah, so I didn't know that Altaria's special attack was as high as it was. Kind of threw me for a loop, and its attack is super high too. But another reason why I chose Mega Altaria is because of Pixelate, which turns every normal move into a fairy type move, which means Hyper Voice is gonna do a lot of damage, if I'm going to admit. So kudos to that. Yeah. Other than that, I feel like the Mega Altaria is gonna body anything it touches, really. I mean, it can't be touched by dragon types because of the fairy typing, but it can touch dragon types. It also kind of, I mean, not that I was weak to water, but it resists water, resists grass. It's just, I like Mega Altaria. It's fluffy cloudness. It's just fluffiness. It's too nice. I just wanna put my head on that cloud that it has and just be like, carry me to victory. I need to stop with this. Alright, so now it's time to get into the real confusing part of the PML draft. If you've seen drafts leagues before, you can kind of put two and two together. The PML draft system is kind of like is literally the GBA system. Kudos to that. So naturally we follow GBA rules, which means that each team is given 400 points. Well, I got 440 points because I got a tier 3 mega, which means that it kind of is meh, and they rewarded me for getting the meh one. It's really confusing, but just if you don't want to get into the details, too long didn't read, TLDR version, I got 440 points to spend. So that means I got 440 points to draft 4 extra mons, and there's only one mon that I kind of feel iffy about drafting, to be completely honest. But hey, we're just gonna roll with it. So the first and foremost, the thing that I made sure to get is Alola Ninetales, because yes, I did have an answer to dragons, but I don't want to rely on one mon, so I got the Ice Fairy typing Alola Ninetales, and honestly, best decision ever made. I fully comprehend, fully am confident with that choice, and again I surprised myself because Alola Ninetales also specially bulky, which our team is kind of lacking, not going to lie. I mean, can't lie, you could just research it, but I highly doubt anyone's gonna research it, so I can literally say Caterpie's the best Pokemon and get away with it. But if I'm being completely honest with you, it's especially we were lacking special defense a lot, and that's why I was super duper happy to figure that out. I'm telling you, half of the stuff I chose, I realized how good they were to the team like 5 minutes after choosing them. It's kind of crazy how that worked out. I could have drafted like the worst team ever and just kind of went along with it and be like, yeah. But no, in all seriousness, I figured out in that mock battle, because I used a lot of the team members there, how good they actually were. So it kind of get me a relief to see that most of them can hold their own ground. So kudos to that battle. But the second free mon that I chose, kinda meh about, to be completely honest. I mean, I had both of these typings already from Metagross, but what are you gonna do about it? Slowbro. And I chose it because I need something that can attack, especially. So it was really good to see that. Really good to see that I can get Slowbro, because not only can it attack, it can also take offensive hits, which we have plenty of those, but I mean, it never hurts to get extra, so good for that. Mainly the only reason I chose it because I needed another wall. I didn't care at this point whether or not it was specially or physically, but I just needed another wall. Its speed side's atrocious, but oh well, what are you gonna do at the end of the day? It's a Slowbro. It's in its name, it's slow. But I was gonna say I'm super happy, but I'm kind of iffy about it, to be completely honest. I don't know why I chose it, other than the necessity, which wasn't really a necessity. It was just for my comfort. So I don't know, I'm kind of iffy about it, but hopefully Solbro can do the damn thing this season as well. Now, this one goes out to the one I left behind. No, actually, this one is a little bit iffy. Even I didn't know how to explain this next pick because I forgot it. Uno momento. I'm back. So I figured out what my last 2 months were, and this is how you know I kind of feel iffy about both of them because I literally forgot about them. But the next one that I drafted was Drago. It's the thing that's on the screen. You can see it. Yeah, it looks weird. Has a weird name. Had a Pokemon name 101. But so you might be wondering yourself, Brad, why'd you draft this thing? It's also a Dragon type. Which I respond, I have answers to Dragon types. I didn't have a lot of answers to Fairy types. I hear in the back saying, Red, you drafted 2 Steel types. What do you mean you didn't have answers to 2 Fairy types yet? Alright, peep. I had Miguelteria, who can handle dragons. I have Lona Ninetales that can handle dragons. Now I need something to handle fairies so that we are good to go. Because honestly, the 2 things, well, before Gen 6 happened, I mean, I only played Gen 5 before Gen 6, but either way, one thing I was always worried about were Dragon types. Dragon types. Even though I didn't know how types worked back then, I mean, I still worried about Dragon types, alright? That's how... I didn't know. I just knew that they did an insane amount of damage, so I'm worried about them. But with the inclusion of fairies in X and Y, next thing I come to worry is fairy types. And that just comes to fairy types and dragon types are 2 things, 2 dates that I worry about. And it was just one of those things where, in my eyes, fairy types are a lot more menacing than dragon types. Because of how, I don't know, it's how well they can handle dragon types. It's just, no, you need to be put down right now. Like, they get most of their stuff is kind of stupid, not gonna lie. Like, half the stuff they get is kind of crazy. I mean, it's a good move to draft fairy types. I drafted fairy type myself. I drafted 2 fairy types technically, but it's just they need to be put down ASAP in my eyes. And I didn't have anything yet until I got Dragnal, and its special defense is literally what made me fall in love with it. 140. I was mixing 2 numbers. It had 44 speed, but it has 123 special defense. Originally, I was going to draft Roserade, but sadly that was sniped for me, so that whole idea of getting Roserade to handle fairies was thrown out the window. But I'm left with this guy, which, to be honest, although I forgot about it, I'm super happy I did it. I mean, I never used it. It has this interesting design. I always wanted to use it, so here's my shot to do it. I mean, not have been the best idea to do it, considering it's a league. But still answers fairy types, and I still kind of want to use it, so even though I forgot it, I'll call that a W. So, you might be wondering yourself, Red, who is the last mod that you drafted? Hey, hear me out. We didn't need this. Like, we definitely didn't need this. But, Heliolisk, the electric typing. I mean, formerly, I didn't have anything to attack water types, but I could have sent out other stuff to attack it. But it's just my mind at ease, because especially how much stuff is weak to water on my team. We have State's calling me. Jesus, no, wait until after this video. Gosh, diggly darn it! But we had Landorus. We have. Is that it? I sort of got something else to speak to water. Whoa, wait! Either way, I still wanted to draft the Heliolisk. I mean, I said at the beginning that we didn't need it. I don't know why I went to we needed it halfway, but hey, I drafted Heliolisk because of its special attack and its speed. It's kind of crazy. It's 109 for speed and special attack, which mainly why I drafted it. I mean, I did research before them on, so I could draft the best one. So, kudos to that. I mean, why'd I draft it if I didn't? I knew I would have regretted it not drafting it, is what I was trying to say. I'm probably going to edit all that out, because I said like 10 different things, meaning what I was trying to say here, so Can you tell that I don't script these things? I know a lot of you guys want me to script it, but I feel like it's just better if I say it right off the bat because it seems more natural about it and all that stuff. So, saying it for the if any of you guys are willing to count the times I say so, be my guest. But anyways, each team was also allowed Z captains. Now the Z captains, you are given 100 points, and based on the tier they're in, you could have drafted then. Maximum of 3 Z captains permitted for the team. I'm not really getting into the point system for the Z crystals. Just know that my 2 Z captains are Volcanion because it's specially offensive, and Pangoro because it's physically offensive. And I feel like with that set going on together, I feel like it's a really good combination of special. Like, if either of them did their move, it would have done a lot of damage. Like, that's a lot of damage. It would have done a lot of damage. Nah, memes aside, it would have done a lot of damage. Either ones are going to destroy, hopefully, the target with the Z crystals. But anyways, guys, that does it for the team recap of the Toronto Typhlosion for the PML Season 2. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye!